Soon, not yet.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Locker Room Podcast. I'm Daryl Natil, and it's Thanksgiving, and we all got a lot to be thankful for. But before we even get into that, I want to dedicate this show tonight to a young man I met back in 2014. As a matter of fact, I met him with Cedric Redwine, who's one of my guests. We did a Fellowship of Christian Athlete huddle at Killian High School, and actually, he prayed us out. He sounded like a Baptist preacher. He passed away on Saturday. Moment of silence for DeAndre Johnson. Thank you. Man, DJ was a good kid. He played at Killian High School. He went to University of Tennessee, right? Was an edge rusher. At one time, he was leading the nation in sacks. And then he transferred to the University of Miami. Then he went on to play with Green Bay, and he played with the XFL with the Houston Rough Riders. And just unfortunate incident that happened. We might let Cedric touch on it a little bit. But I'm going to introduce my guest tonight. In the middle, this young man, I've known him since he was like 5 or 6 years old. You don't believe it? Watch this right here. He was in my backyard learning how to swim. From the University of Miami to the NFL to the CFL. Let's meet and greet Cedric Redwine. Say hello, Cedric.
What's going on, everybody?
All right.
What's up?
All the way to the far right in the dark, in the batting cages. Young man out of Heritage High School in Broward. I grew up with his parents. Great dual sport athlete, and gave up football his senior year to concentrate on baseball, and I see why. In June, he was drafted in the 17th round by the Toronto Blue Jays. Meet Jordan Rich. Say hello, Jordan.
What's up, everyone? This is Jordan.
All right, now, Jay. Down at the bottom, I've known this kid, too, since he was about 5 or 6 years old at Goulds Pool. His dad was a lifeguard. I was teaching swimming in Goulds Pool. He was a little boy playing around the pool. Went on to play at Homestead High School, one of the greatest quarterbacks in HBCU this year, from Johnson C. Smith, Kelvin K.D. Daniels. Say hello, Kelvin.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
All right. This next young man, he's out of Miami, too. Went to Hallandale High School. Played with the Buffalo Bills, a little bit with the Phoenix Cardinals. Great man. I met him a couple weeks ago, man. Has a great foundation, have a love for people and a love for kids. Say hello to Butch Rose. Hello, Butch.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
All right.
Cedric,
Hey, Butch.
I want to say something to Cedric.
Go
I'm a
ahead.
big fan of yours, man. I used to watch you at UM back in the days when you were at UM, man. And when my boys, they're big UM fans, we used to always watch you. So you're one of my favorites, man. So keep
All
doing your
right. That's
thing.
great. That's great, man. Butch, I know you kind of text me today. Is there anybody you want to kind of honor? I know you lost somebody in your family.
Yeah, I lost my oldest brother on last Tuesday. We laid him to rest on Saturday. So, that's grieving time, and it's always a tough time when you lose a family member. But I like to thank everybody who sent out their condolences and, you know, give me a shout, text me, called me and said, they have their deepest sympathy. So every day gets easier. It's a healing day. So, we take it one day at a time. Thank you,
Okay.
man.
Okay. Well, what I want to do, I want to go to the young fella first. Since this is his first time on the podcast. Like I said, I knew his parents, and I used to babysit his mama, and his uncle and his aunt. Easy E. We used to call Erica Easy E. Jordan was drafted in the 17th round by the Toronto Blue Jays out of Heritage High School. I think he was going to go to Miami-Dade, right?
Yes, sir. I was gonna go to Miami-Dade. Um, I was playing football. I was kind of committed to UConn for both. Um, then eventually, when I found out like baseball is gonna be my future. Oh, my bad. Hold on.
Yeah, you even won a state championship too, right?
Oh, I'm trying to get the lights back on here. My bad.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I was when I was playing both, eventually committed to UConn for both football and baseball. Um, and when I found out baseball was gonna be my future and I could, go pro out of high school with it, I made the decision to put down football. And that's where I ended up today.
Okay. You come from a great family. There's your mom. There's Chuck. Well, you taller than both of them. Oh, man? You got a little height on you, huh?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Your grandfather was one of my first pastors when I first moved to Miami. That's the Bishop Randall Holtz. He was one of my first pastors, and my first job, like I say, I was his nanny, and your mom was a majorette at New Orleans. She was spinning the baton all the time. Erica
Yeah.
used to play football in the street, and little Randy used to fall down and skin his knees up all the time. We always had band-aids for him. But tell us how the process it took for you get to Major League Baseball. What was the
Um,
process?
really, it started the summer going into my senior year. When I was kind of getting looks, interest from major league teams. My advisor at the time kind of told me that like over that fall, basically like during the football season, there was going to be a couple workouts that I was like I needed to go to. And I couldn't be at my full capabilities like playing football still. So I had to make that decision to let football go. I went to the workouts that fall, that winter. And then I needed a good season during the spring. And thank God I was able to put everything together. And at the summertime, my dreams was able to come true.
You know what? You were drafted by the team that went to the World Series. How cool was that?
Correct. It was very cool. Obviously, like we weren't a part of it because I was down here in Florida, still working out with the rest of the
Mhm.
organization. But to be a part of like an organization, a team that you know came a game away, out away from the World Series is pretty cool.
All right, I'm gonna put something on the screen and tell me what you think about this play right here.
I thought it was the right call. That's when the ball gets stuck. It's supposed to be a time call. So I thought it was the right
But
play.
that play cost you guys the World Series too, didn't it?
I know it did, but that's how it goes in the rules. When the ball gets stuck, it's supposed to call time. So you can't really go against it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go down to my man Sherdrick Redwine. I told you I know Sherdrick when he was a little boy. I saw a picture of him when he was in my backyard. That's him and his mom Tamia when he's signing with the U. And let's see, he started out at the U. You know what? You were the first one to wear the turnover chain, wasn't you? You all.
You
You hear
There you
me?
go. Yeah, I hear you.
I was the second one. We played Bethune the first game, and I almost had a pick, but it went between my legs, and the referee called it down. I would have been the first one, but my homie caught a pick. He was the first one to wear it. Then I was the second one after that. I
The
think it was.
first college game you ever played in. You remember this picture we took pregame?
Yeah, I remember that.
You get ready. That's before they even put the roof on the new stadium. That's back in what year? What year was that?
Like 2015.
Boy, I look good on that, boy. I look like a young fella, like I could have played a little bit.
The young Thundercat.
The Thundercat. You wore the turnover chain. You did a lot of things on the sideline. You held the signs up to your mom, making signs to your mom. You were a leader. But here's the thing: you were drafted by the Cleveland Browns. Everybody knows about the Cleveland Browns. Tell us about your time in Cleveland.
I mean, I enjoyed my time in Cleveland. It was a different atmosphere. That was my first time not being in Miami. In my life. So it was just a different form of football. Just cold football. Just really adjusting to the cold, but at the same time, just it's a professional level. And I was always like taught, just being brought up playing the game that eventually, when you get to the highest levels, it's going to be a business. So that's how I really approached it. After I got drafted, my family, everybody was happy, but within like 3 hours, I was like, let's get to the business. Like I'm ready to play, you know.
But then you went to my favorite team. How about them Cowboys?
I like Dallas. Dallas cool too though. At the same time, all of them that like being able to, Dallas really they coined me like a journeyman. Dallas I think was like my eighth team in the NFL. So I remember before I left Dallas, they was like, man, Reg, you're a real journeyman, real professional. We love you. So Dallas, I love being in Dallas. Like the city, the fans, like, you know, football a religion. Like that's why I seen football a real religion in Texas.
Yeah.
You know, so I got to really be able to. I got in a lot of arguments with them boys too about like that Texas football, Florida football.
Yeah.
You know, they
Man,
got to get strong. You know, they hardcore. You know, but like we got swag. Like, we'll run right past that. You know, so
Okay. But
Florida football on top.
then
oh,
you had opportunity to go to the rivals, and
mm-hmm.
then you got a pick in the last game. Well, I knew you was gonna stay there then.
Yeah, my first play in. That was my first play in. You know, but I understand how the business go. You know, it be political as always. You know, but I always just everywhere I go, I always felt like I left my mark. That you know, whoever seen me on the field, who got to see me in real time on the field, whether it be practice or the game, like you know, you can tell how serious I take what I do. You know, by my play.
But then you come home to the home locker room and play for the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
How was your time with them?
I like the time with the Dolphins. You know, the first time I got on the field, you know, I remember just sitting down. I'm playing FOB pool. It was like somebody, you know, just coming back to the city. Like I cried. Like I dropped tears on the field before anything. Like I'm like, I gotta drop tears on the field before anything. Like, you know, that was a great experience to be able to do that.
All right. Then not even a month ago, a month and a half ago, I get the headline that you moved to Canada, and then you go to the team that wins the cup.
Yeah,
That's your dad, right? That's your dad, Derek, right there, Lourdes.
yeah. Big great cup.
Big cup. What y'all was drinking in that cup, man?
Beer, champagne, hard liquor, whatever they found and poured in there, everybody was drinking.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the experience playing in Canada? What's the difference in the game?
I mean, my experience personally, as soon as I got up there, you know, they say forget everything you even like anything you know about American football, forget that. This is a clean slate up here. The main, you know, is the biggest differences that I seen from me personally being a DB is okay, the receivers is running full speed at the ball, you know, before the ball snaps. So you got to adjust to that opposed from them just staying in one position, you
Uh-huh.
know. And then it's like small rules. So say if you miss a field goal, you could miss a field goal and they go out the back of the end zone, you still get 1 point. So game could be tied 35-35, 0 seconds left on the clock. They kick a field goal, miss it, but they go out the back of the end zone, you get 1 point, you win.
Wow.
So that it's like last touch, like basketball too. So if you get a fumble, says it's a fumble. As a defensive player, you could just knock it out of bounds and it's y'all team, it's y'all ball. You don't
Because
got
you
to
had to touch
return
it.
it inbound. You could just slap it out of bounds as y'all ball. You know,
Okay.
but you know, it's small differences and stuff too. You know, I want to say the speed isn't as fast as American football, but you do got to process faster with everything happening, running to you full speed before the ball snap.
Okay. I'm gonna go down now to my quarterback, Johnson C. Smith quarterback, Mr. Durham. KD, tell us your journey from Homestead to college football.
Oh well, really, I went to South Dade my last year, so I went to South
Okay.
Dade. I was committed to a school called Arkansas Pine Bluff, but I had ended up getting surgery on my throwing hand. So that coaching staff ended up going a different route. So I say about like a week before signing day, I had got a call to go to Fort Valley State, and even with that, a whole lot went down behind the scenes. That was the same time as COVID year, so my first year in college wasn't really the traditional first year in college. Like we didn't have the season, so it was just more about just class and workouts and stuff like that. So ended up getting that year back, getting that year back to get healthy with my wrists. Ended up redshirt the next year because I still wasn't healthy yet, and then I ended up becoming the starter my redshirt freshman year. Was able to be a 3-year starter at Fort Valley State University. Was able to have the all-time passing record at Fort Valley State University. So
Wow.
then I decided to transfer my last year to go with the coaching staff that recruited me out of high school. They had ended up switching schools. So I ended up, going with him my senior year. And it's been nothing but a blessing really just to be a part of this program up in Charlotte, get us a conference championship, the first in 50 years. So, we did a lot this year. It was all the blessing, just part of the whole journey. Wouldn't change it for anything in the world.
You know, we saw a flyer that showed that you got to nominate to the Legacy Bowl, HBCU Legacy Bowl, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
And the FCS Bowl. We got to still work on that FCS Bowl. We
Yes,
got to work
sir.
on that. You have opportunity to be seen by some NFL scouts. But well, hold up a minute. I heard you was not the best football player in the house. Tell us about this person right here.
Yeah, that's my baby sister, man. Yeah, I can't lie. She got all the talents that me and my brother didn't have. She got blessed with all of it, from football to basketball. She can do it all. That she just watched us growing up. And just took everything we did and then added to her play style. And she's been a blessing. Really, it's been a blessing watching her play football.
Yeah, I think she was ranked 15th in the country at one time as a flag
Yeah,
football. Yeah.
yeah, and people, they don't even know she been fighting an ankle injury. Like, she had surgery on her ankle, so she been fighting injuries, and she's still ranked top 15. And so I'm just so proud of her. That's ready to see her go off to college and do the same thing at the next level.
Okay. We're gonna go to the big man right now. Let's talk to Mr. Rowe, Mr. Butcher Rowe, the big tight end for the Buffalo Mafia. That's when I met him. He with the man. I saw so many of them Buffalo people the other day. I didn't know. I was kind of impressed though with the Mafia, man. I was kind of impressed, Billy. Butch, he's there. We lost him.
I think his camera just off.
Yeah, I think we lost him. Well, I think Butcher was drafted in 1980. Oh, he's trying to come on now.
Yes.
He was drafted in 1986 by the Buffalo Bills. Like tight end, I think he played with Jim Kelly. Okay, there he is.
There it is. Am I
Tell us
back?
about your journey from South Florida to the NFL.
Am I back on? Okay. For a minute, I heard you guys talking. Yeah, I heard you talking about my Mafia. Terrible. Yeah, that's a cult, man. Buffalo they're about their football. I'm a Florida boy. Like, I heard you guys talking about the best athletes. That's where we're at here in Florida. I don't care. Like right when I was saying, Texas is a whole different breed, man. Their high school look like colleges, and they take their football serious. But the speed and the agility and athletes come from Florida. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that 100%. I do the same thing, Red One. I'm always getting into dispute about our Florida athletes. They talk about California, Texas, like I said, and these schools, but Florida has the raw dogs. So that's for sure. My journey, man. Listen, I was heading to UM. I had it all figured out. I say, I'm coming from Hallandale. They were recruiting me out of school, and I was at every home game. So I was getting ready to go to University of Miami, stay close to home, but the minute I went on a visit, Howard Schnellenberger, that's a long time ago, quarterback coach. He wanted to move me. He wanted to change me to defensive tackle. And I played linebacker. I said, come on now. I said, I'm not going to put on 40, 60 pounds and get down on the trenches. I want to stay up so I can hit people. I can see what I'm doing. So with that being said, man, I just opened my options. I said, I'm going to look at other schools. And I had a lot of schools recruit me, from all over. I had North Carolina, I had Clemson, Pittsburgh, all these schools. I said, I went to Michigan State. So when I went to Michigan State, check out their campus. It was in January. Never seen snow like you, Red Wine. I never been out of Florida, never seen snow until then. And I just say, you know what? There's something about this campus. This is where I'm going. So I settled on that, made my mind up, because there was a lot of Florida boys there. It felt like home. They recruited heavily down here. And I said, I have a lot of Florida boys here, so I might as well come here and give my shot here. And, rest is history, man. I got there. My first year coach, he was fired. Then when a new coach, and like you said, it's a business. It starts in college. New coaching staff come. They were trying to run the old coach's players out. But I told them, I said, listen, I'm here to stay. I don't care who you bring in. He's not better than me. I won't let him beat me. So you can do what you want. I'm staying because there ain't nothing back in Allendale for me. So where am I going to go? So I'm staying here. And so enough. And I became a favorite of George Perlis. And he even looked at me one day when we were in practice, my junior year. I guess he coached with the coached with Pittsburgh Steelers, and he always came up to me, told me I remind him of Benny Cunningham. I know that's an old tight end that played with the
Yeah,
Steelers. Daryl, you might know who he is. So
yeah.
he told me, you keep practicing playing like this, you're gonna be playing on Sundays. That's all I needed to hear because you go to college. I'm going there with an open mind. That's a small percentage you make to the next level. So I was fortunate to get 8 years in of NFL playing with 6 in Buffalo and another 2 in Arizona. And I tried a little arena football for 2 years, but I was fortunate, man. So I just worked hard. Like you guys know about that. You work hard, you stay focused, and pray to God you stay healthy and you just come be productive. Every year you set that goal to be better. And that's what I did. We kept 3 tight ends, and I always said, I'm coming in stronger, faster, and better than any tight end we have. And I did that every year. I was cock diesel. They made me block a lot, and they gave me my goal line area where they threw the ball to me. So they gave me, I set a record over there, and I was able to make my mark there. And it was just something I was fortunate to go to 2 Super Bowls. Then the last 2, I was in Arizona, where your Dallas Cowboys beat us twice there. But that's how it happens, man. But I was fortunate, because not everybody make it to the Super Bowl. I did too. First one against the Giants, and then the Redskins. So that's a good career. And like I said, I went on to finish up in Arizona. Then I was in training camp in Houston, was on injury reserve. And after that, I said, I'm going home. It's time to be a businessman. And that's what I did. I finished my degrees, got a bachelor's, finished my bachelor's, got a master's. Then, just 2 years ago, I just finished my doctorate. And now I just started a class today, Daryl. I started another master's in public administrations. It pays for it all. So I'm saying, you know what? They got the money. I'm taking every dime that they have. I want to take it from them, take advantage of it. And that's where I'm at now, man,
Okay,
just helping kids like you saw me last Sunday.
okay. I want to keep you talking for a minute. Most of these guys on here, their goal was to get to the next level, get to the league. You've done that, and your career is over now. And what's next? Talk about this.
Now this, hey, that you talk about that. Well, I had a mindset, man. I already knew what I was gonna do. I had my degree. I wanted to work with kids. And I got into fitness, man. I got into competition, men's physique, got my IFBB pro card. That was another accomplishment that I set out to do, and I was able to attain that after a year. And the healthy living, man, that's what it's about. I wanted to be part of that scene to where I can show guys half my age you can do you can do anything you want. And I was winning. I was winning competitions, guys half my age. I would walk in the arena that day, and when we have our competitions, the first thing I walk in the back and say, "Who's coming second?" And that's just the mentality I had, and everybody knew what time it was. So it's just a part of my post career and my post endeavors that I wanted to do. Like I said, work with kids. My foundation, we give back scholarships. This holidays, doing our toy drive. So we have an array of things that we're doing to help underprivileged kids here in South Florida and in the Buffalo area. And that's, the Mafia, like you say, they're one of my biggest supporters in my music. I love music. I have a band. I play music that's incorporated with my events. So it's a whole ball of things that I'm tied up together that just kind of gel together and just have fun, man. Post life.
Okay, before we go any further, can you use some of these guys on this screen and some of the things you're doing?
If they're willing, like I said, I don't have football camps, but what I do during the season, like you saw me last week, I was at their event raising money during the football game, because that's how it works for us during the season. I go to a Bills bar like that all over. It can be from Daytona, where you saw me, Fort Myers. It can be in Buffalo. It can be in Virginia. It can be in Texas. It can be in North Carolina. Anywhere that has a Bills Mafia that's willing to collaborate and come to force with us, I go spend that day, those 4 hours, raising money for our scholarships that we give out in June. So the
Okay.
thing and we have a big bowling event down here every year in April. So that's something that maybe we can all talk about. Daryl, I can get with you. We can talk about getting more kids to come out, because that's what I look for, to have opportunity. Because a lot of people buy lanes, they donate lanes, and I look for kids to fill those lanes. So, something like that, we can get kids and help with that program that we give, for our scholarships that we give in June.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over to Jordan right now. Jordan, you very rarely see African American kids playing baseball, and for
Yeah.
you to make it to the next level, Tell us your mindset. When did you start playing baseball?
When I was 3 years old. I was 3 years old when I started.
Why you don't see that many African American kids playing the game?
Um, Honestly, from what I hear and honestly from experience, from what I hear and from what experience, it is expensive. Obviously, like the travel of baseball, the equipment, all of that is expensive, and it's a lot. Especially being year round and like this the schedule is crazy. But also I just think like people honestly just get bored of it. Like obviously like watching it on TV, like people think it's boring or like playing like it's not a lot of action as like the basketball, the football. So I just think the African American side at least just gets bored of it. Doesn't have like the same adrenaline or excitement. Maybe so.
Okay. So Shedrick, kind of gave us some insight on what it was like playing at the U and being a journeyman. Every time you went to a different organization, you had to kind of stand up and be the man in the locker room and be a veteran. What was that like?
Starting out with the U, I mean, the U like a it's like a it's like a brotherhood. It's like a real it's like a generational brotherhood. I feel like you know people from the U, like players from the U, they could be from the 30s, the 40s, like, but they all still come back as like a real close knit organization. You know, yeah, it's live, like playing college home team. That's like a dream. It was like so. I wanted to be able to put like that hometown swag. They talked about the U swag, but I wanted to put like that hometown swag. Like I'm really from. I'm gonna really show you what swag. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that was like my vision that I had for like my time at the U.
Okay.
Then journey in the NFL. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, it's I study psychology, so I got my not psychology, sociology. I got my degree in sociology, so I was always just like big think, so every time I went to an organization, just talking to the general managers, the coaches, just seeing how the owners move, just seeing like what created this, like the people that's really the finance and the heart and engine behind it, like what are they doing? Like how do they routines for the day? Like, there's huge organizations. I'm participating in it because it's something I just been doing my whole life, but outside of just it's a whole nother world outside of just like them 110 yards on the football field. So it was an experience just traveling different places, just learning, just really understanding the game, because my dream is to go into the front office, when I'm finished playing, to stay connected to that, to be in the front office, whether it be scouting, general managing, head coaching, anything. But it's a good journey, just being able to go to these different places, 8 in the NFL, and then being in my first CFL team, just the differences between how coaches coach, because what we got on our CFL team is something that you don't really see. Like our head coach played with like 5 players on the team. Our DB coach played with the head coach who played with like, so it's like we got like 4 coaches on our staff who done played with like 6 players on the team. So it's like a real player coach organization. That's why I feel like we had like it was so cohesive. You get what I'm saying? It really they just on some like y'all go out there and make a play. We ran 3 coverages for a whole game, but it's just like they banking on, since they players, they banking on like our Jimmy's versus Joe's. We just gonna take like our Jimmy, we gonna sit in too high all game and y'all can't beat us. But the teams couldn't, So it was like it's
Okay.
working, but it's like a real it's a real it's cool.
Jordan, you got to go. Jordan, you got to leave.
No, I'm good.
Oh, that was your mom saying she finna slide out. Okay. All right, I'm
Huh.
going to go down to KD. KD, you're coming out now at the right time, 2025, 2026, where most NFL teams have African American quarterbacks. You coming out at the right time. Who do you pattern your game after? Quarterback.
Uh, I can say a couple guys. I can't really say one guy. I just I take a few things from a lot of different guys. Of course, watching Lamar Jackson. His pocket presence. to try to just trying to make extend plays, things like that. The Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen's with the different side angles, just still trying to make a throw happen. But really, one guy that I used to watch a lot, even when he was in college, was Deshaun Watson. That was one of my favorite quarterbacks. Him and Jameis Winston were guys I really watched a lot growing up. So those are the main two I could say. I can say for my
Okay.
freestyle.
I'm gonna go back up to Jordan right now. Jordan, you had a great junior and senior year hitting the baseball, and you used to hit those gappers, and you can hit the long ball. You got some power. So what's the difference in the next level of pitching? The curveball and the sliders and the two-seam fastballs. What's the difference in high school and what you saw when you were in rookie ball?
Well, from what I've seen now, it's like I think like obviously the best pitchers in high school is what you're gonna see every single day and even better. From this point on, especially in pro ball. But just obviously like, just getting used to the velocity. Kind of like the pitchers just move harder, they break faster. So just getting used to that. So I just think like the more reps of that, the more I train my eyes to see it. Um, you know, I think I'll be fine. That's just it.
Once you were drafted, what's the first thing that Toronto had you do? When you reported to rookie ball?
Uh, when I first got there, I got an MRI. But when we've like got ready to work and out the way, first emphasis was to put on some weight. And kind of like just got ready to work in the cage, just get my swing right. Start learning how to use my body more. Use my body more efficient, more faster. Um, that's kind of like what we've been working on since.
I got a young man that played at Southridge High School back in the days, and he also played for the Blue Jays by the name of Shannon Stewart. You ever heard of him?
I have not.
Shannon Stewart lives in Miami, and I'm going to connect you with him so maybe he can give you some insight. Matter of fact, he was in Toronto during the World Series time, in the skybox with his family. He played at Southridge, another local kid that played Major League Baseball. So I just want to let you know that we're proud of you that you beat the odds. You got so many Hispanic kids and so many uh, Anglo kids that's playing baseball, but see an African American kid like you play two sports, then get drafted. Just know we're proud of you. I know you got the bishop and the prophetess behind you. Let's give them a shout out. Bishop Holtz and prophetess Charlene. I got to give them a shout out because they were my first pastor and first lady when I moved to Miami. That's my first pastor before I moved down south. But I want to give you your shout out and say that we're very proud of you. Cedric, you know how I feel about you. You've been on my radio show, you've been on my podcast, and we're going to keep up with you and continue. We want you to continue to do great things. Butch, we're going to connect with you. And maybe your bowling event, maybe everybody on this screen could probably get together and tell us a little bit about that.
You're on mute.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's in April. We have that every April, be right before Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, before Easter. Thinking about tomorrow, right before Easter, we have that bowling event. So it's a big event. We used to have it at Spares, but I heard Spares was closing. I don't know how true it is, but we also used to have it. Sometimes we would have it on Sawgrass Lanes over there in Fort Lauderdale. So this year I haven't decided the area yet, but that's during the time we will have it in April. And when I dare, like I said, once I it's season in, New Year hits here, and we start rolling towards that time. I'll definitely give you a call and touch base with you. So I'd love to collaborate and love you to help out, and it'll be a blessing.
Okay, Jordan be playing baseball.
How about you guys? Yeah.
Jordan be in baseball in. So Jordan, where are you going next year? Are you going to Dunedin first, or are you going back to rookie ball?
No, I'll be in Dunedin.
So that means you be coming to Daytona, where I am, to play against the Tortugas, the Cincinnati Reds organization. I get a chance to come pick you up and take you to Bethune Grill. Get you some of the wings.
I'll see you then.
Sir, yes, sir. KD, what's next for you, buddy?
Right now I'm taking like we just ended the last season like a week ago, so I'm gonna take like a 2-week break, just get my body right, get back healthy. But then I'm right back to getting ready for the Legacy Bowl, back training and doing everything I got to do to get my body right, get my times right, for the HBCU Combine and HBCU Legacy Bowl.
Okay, Sergic, you came home and jumped right into coaching, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So getting back into that, just training, train some of the kids while I'm down here, just, get my body right. Same thing. Just take a little break. Just another season, so that's
Okay.
it.
All right. Before we go, I think I was telling Cedric about this. I broadcast football and baseball for Bethune-Cookman University, and last Friday, your parents went to Bethune-Cookman, so you a Wildcat and a Hurricane. But
Mark.
I had a viral moment. I kind of lost my head the last second of the game. Take a look at this clip.
Here we go. Ball game on the line right here. Wildcats are up to FAMU 41, fourth down and 8. Got to get to the 33. Two receivers each side. The ball is on the right hash. The Wildcats are going right to left. Here comes the blitz. McClain waving receivers around. McClain put him in. Wide open at the 5-yard line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Bethune-Cookman! Touchdown, Maroon and Gold! Josh Owens! With 20 seconds to go! Wow! We gotta believe, baby! Yes! Yes! What an all-time classic moments! Josh Owens, the freshman from Ohio, in his hometown, is a hero tonight for Bethune-Cookman. Make this extra point, baby. It's a 3-point game right now. The extra point would make it a 4-point game. 20 seconds to go. Snap, hold, kick. Good.
Oh man, hey, I've had 90,000 views and hits from that video. I just lost my head. I just went crazy because we were down by 4 points with 4th down and 9 from the 50, and we threw a Hail Mary into the end zone. I don't know how he got behind the defensive back. I still don't know how he got behind that DB, but that was one of my viral moments, and I like to thank. Let's see. We got some comments coming. Let's see what our comments on the screen is saying. Hold up, man. I'm on the phone. I'm on. Give me a minute. Okay. I'm out of time. I'm never out of sports. But I thank you guys for coming on the podcast tonight. We're gonna all connect. I'm gonna send you the podcast. We're gonna exchange numbers. Butch, we're gonna try to get together and work out with you some of the things that you're doing. Okay.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Jordan, continue to hit that ball. And when you see Pedro, tell him I say hello.
I will.
KD, keep working out. Cedric, I'll see you soon.
Yes,
Good night.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Daryl.
All right.